Hey guys, and welcome to the first project. And this is just a description on what the project is. It is not getting into the nuances of every little thing you're doing. So I'm going to include some things that you'll be doing at the tail end of your project. And I'm not going to include the actual Illustrator tools. So this will be setting up the file, some of the things you'll do to each individual road sign, and then exporting the file. So you may need to come back to this lecture at the end after you've done everything, but you most likely won't need to because by the time you work with each road sign, you'll probably already know how to save as a PDF and then export for print, but it's all going to be here. So I'm including two file templates for you. The first one is what's called road sign individual, and then the road sign template. What we're looking at right here, and this is inside, what I suggest that you do is make your own Art131 file by going up to File and New Folder. And then inside the Art131 file, make your Project 1 file so that you can, for each one of these projects or anything you work on, you can put all of the files that are associated with it in there. It's really nice to do that with project management. Another thing is if you're putting this on a flash drive, never work from the flash drive. It is only for storage. You will corrupt your files, you will lose stuff, and you'll be really upset because you will have worked on something for 2 hours and the file will just disappear or not even open. So make sure you're always storing a backup on the flash drive, dragging it to the desktop, and then working on the file from the one that's on the desktop. Then when you're finished, you store it back on the flash drive as a backup. Okay? Anyway, so let's go ahead and we'll look here. So I've given you, like I said, I've given you two files. One is this road sign individual, and this is where you're going to be working with all of your road signs and then bringing them into your final piece. So let's say I'm working on Indian Village. And let's say I'm doing this. I wouldn't do this in my own file. I would open up this road sign individual. I would save it as Indian Village AI. A matter of fact, why don't I teach you how to create artboards right now, which might be even better. That way you can have them all in one file. So let's do that. If I take road sign individual and I want to make more artboards, I'm going to go up to Window, and here's your artboards, and I have artboard 1. So since I already have artboard 1 here, let's go ahead and duplicate 6 more. Artboard 1 copy, artboard 1 copy 2, artboard 1 copy 3. I'm just dragging them down and making copies. Copy 4 and copy 5. Okay, good. Now I'm going to double click on artboard 1 and just call it Indian Village. Now what's neat is I have one file, which is my road sign individual, and I have 6 instances of the road sign. Each one's going to be its own design solution. So here's number 1. Inside your layers that are here for this. So I'm on artboard 1. I can go over to my layers, and you can see that there's the 6 rectangles for the different artboards. All right. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, and this is where it might get a little confusing, is each rectangle is associated with a different one, but we're just using these for guidelines on where the road sign ends, and if we want to, in the end, make a clipping mask. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lock this down. I'm then going to, and you don't need to do this at this point. I'm just going to save this as something else because I'm giving you the individual file and I want to make sure it's as is. Okay, so with this locked down, what happens, well, actually I didn't lock this one down. That's this one. So with that locked down, if I click on it, nothing happens. So for right now, we're going to pretend like this is done. So let me go ahead and shrink this way down. And I'm going to preview to see how small it gets. I don't want it that small. 30. That's okay. Maybe we'll go 35. Cool. Too big. Yeah, we'll go 30. And okay. Okay, so here's my Indian Village solution. So as you can see, that's nice. I also have somewhere in here, if I can find it, there was another version of it. Aha, my chess piece. Fabulous. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to move over to this artboard right here, and I'm going to put in my chess piece, right? Okay, so great. So I have my chess piece in this one. I have Indian Village in this one. And what I'm going to do here is, you can see that this little sign thing is still selected, right? Where is it? There it is. So I want to clip this, because if I took this as is and tried to move it into my road sign template, you can see that this stuff is going to run off of the road signs. And by the way, I already have this file open, and I've kind of moved them in. But this is your road sign template file. This is where everything's going to be going, so it kind of looks like this. So I'm going to show you how to do that, okay? And then that way so I'll go ahead and start over with both of these. Oh, this guy's locked. All right. Get rid of that. Cool. Get rid of that. All right. So since these templates are the same size as these signs, one of the things I want to show you how to do is create a clipping mask. If you have a bunch of things that are going beyond this little diamond, that's totally cool. In fact, you want that. You want to create the scene however you'd like. You could come in and shrink it down if you wanted. But then what I'm going to do is I don't want it to go beyond these edges. So since I have the diamond here, I'm going to take this little diamond, select just it, go to Object, Arrange, and Bring to Front. Okay, and then I'll select everything on this artboard, and I will go to Object, Clipping Mask, and Make. Okay, and see that's turned that into this. Now I can go and I can copy and go back to my road sign template. You're going to make a new layer, so you're going to get everything into that one layer. Okay, if you click it, it'll make a new layer. I've already titled it chess. I'm already there, and I'm going to copy it into that layer, and then I can easily line up that diamond with this, and there's my road sign. Okay, and I'm going to lock it. Now again, I'd make a new layer for Indian Village. I would title it Indian Village. Right now it's not locked, but I'll go back into my road sign individual. This one I didn't need to make a clipping mask because I don't have anything going off the edge. So I'll go ahead and select everything, and since it's in the template, it should be okay. And I'll go here, and then I will, in this case, I'm holding down Shift and using the arrows on my keyboard to move it. And then when I don't hold down Shift, it moves slightly, so it just nudges it. Okay, but I'm getting it into the road sign area. So now I have Indian Village, and I'll go ahead and lock it. Good. So now what I'll do is once I'm done with these and I've gotten the 6 in with the different layers, I can unlock this, and I can use the titles from here to go in the road sign areas. This one's obviously not Ant Farm. This one would be called Chess Playing or something like that. But you can't do your own. I'm just using this as an example. And then once you've gotten everything into place, we'll go ahead and lock this. Now I can't move anything. Okay, in here it's all locked down. Great. And then I would go ahead and go to File Save, so it saves my final work. And what I'll also do is go to Save As, and I'll call this Road Sign Final. And we'll save it as a PDF. One thing you'll need to do, and you'll need to make sure, is when you go into the preset, you want to save it as a high quality print. Acrobat 5's fine. It's older, but that's fine. And then we'll go ahead and save. One thing you're always going to want to do when you do Illustrator files is and here it is right here. See, I didn't do the rest of the signs, but this would be my file that would be ready for print. And then you would also take this PDF and you would upload that online as your final piece. One thing you may want to do is go to Effect, Document Raster Effects Settings, and make sure that your color model CMYK and your resolution is 300, at least for this assignment. In case you ever export as JPEGs or other things, it will keep it high quality. All right. So that's just the gist of working with the two templates I've given you. You don't even need to create the artboards. If the artboards confuse you, then just save this road sign individual as Indian Village. Okay? And then go back to the road sign individual template and save it as the next one you're going to work with, so you just have individual pieces too if you get a little confused with them. I just like the artboards because it's one file, and then I have everything I'm working on. I can just kind of zoom through and then move them over when I'm done, okay, which is kind of neat. So anyways, we'll be working on this